What are the steps in the home buying process? In this short video, we're going to take you step by step to find that dream home. And if you want more detail, we have further videos on each of these individual steps. So whether you're a first-time buyer or a second-time buyer looking for a refresher, then this is the place to be. My name is Mike Carpenter and I'm a chartered surveyor. I've been surveying property for over 30 years. So in that time, as you can imagine, I've seen most of the defects and problems you're going to face as a home buyer. So if you've subscribed to this channel, you should get great value and added insight from my 30 years of surveying experience. So let's get cracking with the home buying process. Step one in the process is getting organised. The first part of this is getting your finances sorted. Do an income and expenditure budget. Find out what you are spending and where your money's going. It'll make that deposit come together that much more quickly. Secondly, you need to look at what you've got at home. Declutter. Get rid of some of that stuff you no longer need or use. It'll make it that much more efficient when you come to moving to that all-important new home. Thirdly, you need to see a financial advisor. Why? Because you need to know what you can afford in terms of a mortgage. The mortgage advisor will give you a mortgage in principle for the first time buyer, so you'll know exactly what you can borrow. So they're the first three starting steps. Let's move on to step two. So how do you specify that dream property? Well, it splits into three areas. The first one is accommodation. You need to identify what accommodation is absolutely essential to your purchase and what is a nice to have. The essential accommodation will form the bedrock of your property search, i.e. it needs to have 3 bedrooms, it needs to have at least 1 living room. Do you need that extra car space for the classic car? Do you need a larger than average garage? All these things will form an absolute essential specification when you start your property search. The next thing to look at is the location. Location is all important. Do you want to be situated in a city? Do you want to be in a town? Do you want to be in a village or even a country location? You need to decide on the various needs you have for you and your family. The next thing to consider is condition. Condition again is all important because if you haven't got the budget to undertake works to a property, things can only end in disappointment. There's nothing worse than finding that dream home only to find you can't afford to undertake those all-important essential repairs. So, you've got your specification in your hand. It's now time to look at step 3, the property search. Step 3 is that all-important property search. Now this begins at home in front of your computer, laptop or phone. Here we'll go onto the web portals such as Rightmove, Zoopla or On the Market to search for that all-important dream home with your specification in your hand. Once you've selected some properties using these portals, you can then make some appointments. It's as well when you're talking to estate agents to also register with them, as they will be aware of properties that will be coming to the market before it even reaches Rightmove or Zoopla. So make contact with estate agents, make those all-important appointments, because the next step is that all-important inspection. Now the inspection itself doesn't start when you arrive at the property, but when you actually arrive in the area itself. You need to assess the condition of the estate or the area the house is situated. Are there industrial or other uses that might affect your enjoyment of that property? When you're at the property itself, take the opportunity to stand across the road from the property and have a look at it. How does it look compared with other properties? Get an overall first impression. If it looks good, then it's likely that the inside will also look good. If it looks shabby, then it's likely the inside will also be shabby. When you're inside, the owner and or agent will be keen to show you round. Let them show you round and you can absorb the property. If it is the property for you, then it may be appropriate to do a second inspection and ask the owner or estate agent if you can have a look round on your own. This will give you the opportunity to actually assess the condition in more detail rather than being distracted by the owner or agent. If this is the property for you when you've done that, then it's time to ask some questions. There are lots of useful questions detailed on other videos we've produced in this series. So please don't forget to watch those, and there are free downloads with those that are full of questions that you can ask when inspecting property. So if this is the property for you, you've had a good look round, you're happy, you're excited, the time now is to make that all-important offer. Step 4 is the offer. Now, we don't just offer the asking price itself, but we have to carefully consider various factors. Let's have a look at the vendor. Are they motivated? Do they need to sell for some reason? More quickly than normal. What's the condition of the property? If it's in poorer condition, they may be more likely to take an offer. Similarly, if it's been on the market a while, they may also be more amenable to accepting a lower offer. So all these factors need to be considered. And we cover these in a lot more detail in other videos on this channel. So if you need more information, have a look at the list of videos available. The next step is to make that offer once you've decided on the level of offer you're going to make. This is made via a phone call or an email to the estate agent. Once that offer has been accepted, you'll need additional information such as your solicitor. Now, you may take a recommendation from the estate agent, or alternatively, you may go to a Google search or have a recommendation from a friend. Either way, you're going to need a detailed costing of what that actually is going to cost you. And don't forget that all-important stamp duty. Once you've got your solicitor sorted out, the next step will be to go revisit your financial advisor to finalise those mortgage arrangements and find out what your monthly costs are actually going to be based on the purchase price that you're buying the property for. You'll also know then the additional associated costs. So, once you've got your offer accepted, you've got your solicitor sorted out, you've revisited your financial advisor to know what your mortgage is sorted out, the next thing to decide on is, do I need a survey? Step 5 is the survey. Now, this is one of those questions I've been asked more times in my career than I care to mention. Do I need a survey? Well, you need a survey for one important reason. The surveyor is the only independent person that's going to inspect that property impartially for you, the buyer. Yes, I hear you say you're going to have a mortgage valuation, but that's for the lender, not for you. And it's only a relatively limited inspection, and you don't even these days get a copy of that valuation report from most lenders. So you absolutely do, in my opinion, need a survey. So what are your options? Well, there are 3 surveys offered by the RICS. That's the condition report, which is a basic entry-level survey, which just simply assesses the condition of the property. Doesn't give you any other advice other than assess condition, and that really is only suitable for really new properties. Secondly, you've got the home buyers report, which is a level 2 survey, which is a sort of middle report which deals with significant defects and can come with and without a valuation. The third type of report is a building survey. Now, this is the most detailed report the RICS do, and we'll go into some significant detail on the property itself, looking at further investigations, improvement items and maintenance items. So there are significant choices when it comes to survey, but my advice to you here is talk to a surveyor, tell them about the property you're going to buy, and then decide on the best survey for you and your circumstances. Please do not have a survey because of the cost. Yes, I know a survey costs several £100, and one of the comments I often get, oh, that seems dear. But you're buying a property for thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of pounds in some cases. And so therefore it's absolutely essential you get that impartial advice. Step 6 is exchange of contract, legal ownership, and then moving in. Exchange of contracts is the point at which the solicitor exchanges contracts with the owner of the property's solicitor, and therefore the property is legally yours. That's when the mortgage monies are paid over along with your deposit funds. So that's the time to get excited, and within a few days or sometimes hours the property completes. In other words, it goes from exchange of contracts to completion when the property is absolutely yours and you can pick up the keys from the estate agent. So that's the end of the legal process. The property is yours. Now it's that all-important moving in phase. Now, moving in takes a degree of preparation. Now, whether you're moving yourself or using a firm to do it for you, there will be a significant amount of work you'll need to do before that moving in day. One of the biggest things is to get rid of all that clutter and rubbish. There's nothing more expensive than moving rubbish from house to house. a few little tips here is I would visit the property you're buying a week or so before you're due to exchange contracts to understand where all the services are. Where's the electricity fuse board? Where's the stop tap? Where do you turn the gas on and off? Because when you come to fit these various new services and appliances, you're going to need to know where all these are. And a quick visit before you buy will save all that frustration on the moving day. Also, have a simple toolkit with you. You may have the best toolkit in the world, but if it's packed up at the back of a transit van full of stuff, it's not good. So have a toolkit ready to hand. So hopefully with those tips you'll be able to move in relatively stress-free, and that completes this video on the home buying process. I hope you found this useful, as there's lots more videos on home buying on this channel, and please comment in the section below if you found it useful or have actually got any further questions. Happy home hunting, and I hope you find that dream home.